Hey there everyone, and today I want to talk to you about whether video games are good or bad for your mind. Hey there everyone, my name's Dave, aka Mindset by Dave, and I've been a mindset and mental health and personal development coach for the last 4 years, helping people get unstuck with whatever is holding them back up here. As well as videos here on YouTube, I also stream live on twitch.tv/mindsetbydave every Tuesday at 10 AM till 4 PM, and every Saturday from 7 PM till 10 PM. And we also have a Discord, which should be around here, around about now, and in the links below, where you can come and chat about mindset, mental health, and personal development between all of those times. Anywho, on with the content. So gaming, whether or not it's good or bad for us, it's been hotly debated for many years. And really, I just want you to think about it logically, because ultimately the statistics that are out there mean very little and are often disputed and don't really mean much for you as an individual. Working out whether video games are good or bad for you as an individual can't be shown by looking at graphs out there about what people within your age range have reacted to. Ultimately, gaming is an extremely personal experience, and it differs from person to person and from game to game. Now, I'm a child of the 80s, which meant that I grew up playing Amstrads and Commodores and playing games like Pong and Pac-Man, and then eventually moving on to more substantial games like the original Super Mario Bros. And growing up for me, gaming was a huge point of escapism. It was one of the best things for me because kind of my life around that time was pretty crappy. So why wouldn't I want to go and get involved in a game? Games provided an escape from the stresses of everyday life and would actually give me problems to solve and ideas to do, so it'd actually still keep me active up here. In fact, some of my absolute favourite games growing up were RPGs, because I just loved playing a game where you had a character progression. I literally sat there and wished it was like that in real life, where, you know, if I read a book like on The Sims, they read the book and then the knowledge points literally pop up above their head. I wished it had been like that in real life, to be perfectly honest. But the really big change for me was when gaming was versus the computer, or when it was versus another person. My very first experience of this was Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. And, you know, if you're winning, it's all well and good. But if you're losing, then we get that whole pad rage. Now, thankfully, back then the Super Nintendo controllers were attached to a wire and wouldn't go very far. Well, things have moved on since then. And the difference between me playing that kind of game where I was PvP, we didn't even have that term then, but I was playing against another person, as opposed to when I'm playing Mario and I'm maybe only getting beat by Bowser, was massive. And then this came in a little bit later again when Unreal Tournament came out and when Red Alert 2 came out, where I would play those games online, and now I'd be competing. It wouldn't even be just my friends that we had a relationship with, it'd be an anonymous person, you know, possibly somewhere else in the country, possibly somewhere else in the world. And the level of adrenaline that kicks in when you are playing a PvP game as opposed to a PvE game or a versus the computer game is massive. And it's also quite an addictive feeling. You feel pumped up, you feel fired up and ready to go. You kind of, that whole one more game, your parents come in and tell you to come off and you're like, no! That whole anger side of things, it does exist there. And we'd be very naive to claim that that doesn't actually happen. I remember when World of Warcraft first came out and playing that absolutely forever, just PvE, just playing the quest and the storyline, and it was one of those games that I could sit and chill on for like 4, 5, 6 hours at a time. And I remember to this day the first time I stepped into Warsong Gulch and I was getting killed, backstabbed by a little rogue called Joxer, Joxxer. If you're still out there, I remember you. I remember you bitterly. But I remember that feeling of as soon as like the battle horns went off and you were going in against the other people, now you're actually having PvP, and the adrenaline was just so much different. Like, I didn't want to come off the game at all that day, but I wasn't chilled out. And this is the big point I want you to think about, is that it's not about whether or not gaming has an effect on you. It is what effect different games have on you. And being mindful of that and being okay with that. I now play COD, and I'm okay with the fact that it's going to get me riled up. It's probably going to make me swear at the screen. I'm okay with that. However, if I was struggling at that point in my life, feeling like I'm too angry all the time, then COD's probably not the right answer for me. And I'm probably best chilling out and playing something classic like Monkey Island, where there's absolutely no stress whatsoever. I was asked about this a couple of months back because I was playing Super Lucky's Tale on stream, and someone was saying, why are you playing such a simple kids game? And I was like, because I run a mental health stream. The job I have to do is quite heavy. The conversation in here can often be quite heavy. And this game allows me to kind of just switch off. I can pause it. I've got no emotional attachment to it. I've got 96 lives left, so even if I lose one, so what? There's no stress there, and it does go back into that same escapism. And I used to feel the same way on Minecraft. Whenever I played Minecraft on survival mode, especially if you've hoarded quite a lot of materials and then you go into the Nether and you lose them, versus going on creative mode and building the Eiffel Tower with the infinite blocks that you've got. Two extremely different experiences. So the reason I made this video is because those studies that are out there, they're not going to stop you from gaming. They're not going to change your gaming habits when you read something in the newspaper that said, Grand Theft Auto made me kill my grandma. Your experience with video games is always going to be down to your own personal preferences. But it is good to understand and to note those personal preferences so that you know actually what's the right game for me in this moment. Some days we want to load up the MP4 and get out there just rattling through people on COD. Other days, it might be time to play Super Lucky's Tale. Because if you're playing games and your purpose for playing games is stress relief and the game you're actually playing is making you more stressed, then maybe it's time to pick up a different title. As always, I hope you found this content helpful, and if you have, please hit that subscribe button and maybe even turn on those notifications. These things are both priceless to you, but completely and utterly priceless to me. Again, there is also my Twitch stream at 10 AM till 4 PM on a Tuesday and 7 PM till 10 PM on a Saturday. Those are all UK times, and there's a Discord as well if you want to go deeper about any of these subjects. I will see you soon.